Greetings and welcome to Rant and Rank, the show where we come together and rant about and rank your favorite artist discographies, or our favorite artist discographies, or no one's favorite artist discographies, whatever we want to do there. We use the very scientific method of our opinions to choose the best album of who we're listening to at the time being. And we do this in a completely uncivilized way. Today, with me, as always, he's been to Mississippi as a kid, Jason.
Born in Mississippi, actually.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You just make that up for this show?
No, I was born in Pascagoula.
There we go. The man who needs 3 steps and probably a good solid count to 50, Ed.
That's me. That's me.
And for the first time ever, he spells his name Trouble, Grease. Hillary's here.
Oh, good talk.
That's right.
Peace.
And the asshole that requests Freebird at every show he goes to, Joe.
I hate you for many reasons, Joe.
So, Hillary, introduce yourself for us.
I'm Grease, man.
How do we know you?
Back home.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
It's weird the 4 of us being together again.
I've known Hillary since high school, since like junior high.
Yeah, you were Hans.
Yeah, he called me Hans because I had red shoes. He called me Homer.
Oh, yeah.
Called him Grease. King Whitey Tighty. He's got a lot of good nicknames.
Yeah. I'll answer to any of them.
That's it. Yeah, I think the last time the 4 of us were together, Jason's wedding?
Really?
Yeah, I can't imagine
Wow.
it's been any other time than that. You know,
Yeah, all 4 of us?
Yeah, all 4 of us there had to. That had to be the last time.
Yeah,
So
because
it's been a while.
you guys were in the wedding, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On that lovely warm day with no wind.
We're just missing Cowboy.
That's right. Throw
I'm
cowboy
glad
in
you
here.
made it.
Okay, so enough reminiscing of old. Housekeeping. So you're watching a YouTube video.
Housekeeping.
Every time.
Yep. Subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube video you're watching, please. Thank you. We'd love you for it. It helps us out a lot. It gets us to the point where we can give Ed a light bulb for his,
Yeah.
for his
Hey,
room.
man.
So yeah, subscribe. Patreon, we have 3 tiers. We've got a gold, we've got a silver, and we have a bronze. Silver tier and above get an exclusive video, at least one once a month, and you get fun little shorts like the one Jason just put up from our Soundgarden video.
Oh, it's so good. If you got TikTok, go follow us on TikTok. It's total Joe diss on there. It's so
It's
good.
hilarious. It is really
Hey,
funny.
what's our handle on TikTok?
Old drunken discography.
Yeah.
Someone?
What,
You
is,
trying to
It's
get
not
us
a
copyright
bad
struck?
today.
what was that? Sound like racing cars and
Blink 182.
DMCA. Yeah.
Yeah, I opened TikTok and Blink was the first thing.
Oh, I got you.
Might want to edit that.
No, that's fine. There's not enough. You didn't have it up long enough. Surely, Blink 182 don't sue us. And if you'd like to come on the show, we'd love to have you. We'll figure it out. So, also join us in Discord. We're having a good time over there. We want you to come have a good time. That's enough for housekeeping. This week, our heroes are discussing the Southern rock legends, Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Lynyrd Skynyrd.
That's right.
Honky
Skynyrd,
tonk.
baby, woo! So generally, I let Ed go first, but since we have a guest, I'm gonna give you the choice, Hillary. Where do you want to go? You want to go first, second, third, or fourth?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll go first.
All
Are
right.
you going to ask us how we got into him?
No, I don't want to hear.
Every week.
Well, I didn't get into him. I just kind of grew up with him.
Yeah. So
Same as y'all, right?
yeah. So Hillary, tell me about your, how you know Lynyrd Skynyrd and all of that good stuff.
Oh,
Since
well,
I
that was
figured
it.
out.
Yeah, I just kind of grew up with them.
Okay.
They're on the radio.
All right.
That's,
Yeah, I mean, if you lived in Florida or Alabama, you kind of they were always there. And my dad, I grew up with him. Got all the records.
Ed, how did you first learn of Lynyrd Skynyrd?
Sorry, I was just looking at Joe's face on TikTok. That is a pretty marvelous video there, Jason.
It's good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'll check out Old Drunken Discovery TikTok. He's got some followers there. Yeah, so Skinner. Man, I heard Tuesday's Gone with the Wind. In that movie, Dazed and Confused. And
Forrest Gump.
No. Wasn't that when the keg scene? Whenever the keg's empty.
Maybe. We just did a video on those two
and
soundtracks too.
Yeah.
Both of those soundtracks are my picks, and I have no idea.
And honestly, like it's been
know
one
it's
of
on
those
one of
bands that I didn't know, like they had so many songs that I liked from the '70s, or at least from their era, and collectively they have quite a bit of songs that I do like. I'm not big into southern rock. It's not necessarily my bag, but I do want to give a shout out to the band Shinedown for their cover of Simple Man, I believe. It is one of those covers, in my opinion, that I think sounds better than the original. There are very few of those, but if there are not
Take it.
Yeah.
not
Oh, everybody froze on me. So we're starting out hot. This is good. As soon as he's tried to steal my,
it's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite tunes from Shinedown. But anyways, so yeah, no, I was here and there in high school, but mostly movies and stuff.
Ed, for the audience
and then kind of listening to them.
Ed, for the audience who you froze on for a good 30 seconds or so, tell us what song was that with Shinedown again? Now. So tell me about that Shinedown.
Shinedown does a great cover of the Simple Man song, and it's one of those few songs that I think is better than the original. I think I just said that, but it does. It sounds a lot better to me. The singer's fantastic.
I thought you said that, and that's probably why
the original, and not even the.
That's probably why the whole internet went out for me, because you said it was better than the original.
Guys, where's the slap button?
It is. If you haven't heard it,
Where's this what, Hillary?
The slap button.
I'm telling you, like
Ed Joe has it.
Yeah.
It disappears. Internet slap.
no, I mean it's my opinion, and I really, and their covers. I mean Nirvana. I heard Lake of Fire the other day for the first time. That wasn't the Nirvana Unplugged version, and it's horrible. Nirvana did such a better job of doing that song, So I mean, covers sometimes do make a song better, and Shinedown did a great job with that tune, for sure. Hands down.
I didn't bring my sign.
you didn't bring your sign.
I didn't
You
bring
didn't
my
know.
sign. I didn't know.
So my
It's up there behind me.
introduction to Lynyrd Skynyrd, really from my
Hot take Ed.
earliest-
Hot take Ed.
hashtag hot Ed. My introduction to it is I remember being in, I believe my mom had a Pontiac Firebird or Thunderbird or whatever it's called. I'm terrible with cars. But I can remember Tuesdays on, and she tells me that Mississippi Kid, she had me learn all the words to it while we were riding around together with that. So that's kind of my earliest memory of Lynyrd Skynyrd, and that was very young for me. I mean, we were talking about 4, 5, 6, somewhere in that area. So it was every time I hear Tuesday's Gone, it starts. I just think about being in the back seat of a car, driving toward Bay Minette or Fairhope.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you're from Florida or Alabama, it's part of your DNA.
Yeah,
You've heard it at some point. Hell, our license plates in Alabama at one point had "Sweet Home Alabama" on the back of it.
Ed's had free.
That's the state song, dude. Like seriously.
Yeah.
Well,
You drive into Alabama, it's on the Welcome to Sweet Home Alabama side.
Mm-hmm.
Then they changed the Stars Fell On.
Yeah, the stars fell on for a while.
Nobody, that's not a real thing though. It's Sweet Home Alabama. We know it.
All right, well, let's get into it, man. We're like 20 minutes down. We ain't start talking about them yet. Let's go.
We've been going for like 8 minutes. All right, so
Not with your crap internet.
Hillary, give us your number 5 Lynyrd Skynyrd album.
Number 5 would be "Give Me Back My Bullets." Yeah, just it was my least favorite out of all 5. It just didn't. I wrote down what I liked about each song, and reviewed, and I got a lot of, you know, this one's okay, nothing special though. All I can do is write about it. I wrote down that's a bad song, but I really like it.
Yeah, you better. We'll get to that in the next video.
Double Trouble. Just it's nothing special to me. That's me.
Okay, all right.
And,
Ed, follow him up. What's your number 5?
No, I got Nothing Fancy as my number 5. It's a classic 70s album, but I like Saturday Night Special. That was a good tune. And On the Hunt, but I didn't really find anything. I don't know. I didn't find anything special about that one.
There was nothing fancy about it.
Nothing fancy. It's just a southern, regular southern rock kind of album. I don't think there's anything like stood out, like the previous work.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Jason, what's your number 5?
I'm gonna be shocked if we vary too much across these 5 albums.
Yeah.
But my number 5 is pronounced. No.
That would have been a
You
good
got my bullets as well.
I will drive and sweat.
I am on the way.
So this is the only album I didn't grow up listening to. My dad didn't have this one on vinyl for some reason. But for some reason, like, the production just sounds off. I think they had a different producer or something. The energy is just not there for most of it. But I do like the title track. I think Every Mother's Son should have been a single like that. Like, this album's the slower songs, like, far outweigh when they try to, be Skynyrd. Like, all, like Hillary said, all I can do is write about it. It's so good. That song is, I wish I would have heard it way before now. I got the same old blues. Double Trouble are decent. Searching kind of brings some of the energy back, but the drums on this record, that's one thing I'll say about the production is the drumming is really, really good. I think it carries in Searching. On Trust, the drum fills just kind of pop. But I think Ronnie's lyrics are kind of rushed, and I don't know. There's something just off about this album. So that's my number 5.
Yeah, and I'm gonna follow right along with you. What I was thinking the whole time listening to this album is, if I didn't know where any of these albums were in line, and you were just having me listen to albums and said which one of these is their first album, I'd have told you it was "Give Me Back My Bullets." Because it sounds like they take like 3 steps back. Now, Pronounced is a hell of a first album. Don't get me wrong, but it sounds like they take some steps back and they're kind of growing into their sound. I'm like, well, this is your 4th album. You're not really growing into your previous sound. So
I don't know the full history of the band, but I know they had a lot of changes, like, band members at that time.
A lot of changes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So maybe that was where they were. I think "Give Me Back My Bullets" is okay. I do like All I Can Do Is Write About It. Double Trouble, I think, is just kind of a fun song. It's but nothing really jumps out to me here. I got the same old blues. I listened to it once. The second time I listened to this album, I skipped it. It's just like I don't want to listen to that song again. I've listened to too much, good Skynyrd to be listening to that part. So that's my number 5.
I mean, there are still some really great tracks on there.
Oh yeah.
Every Mother's Son is almost like a sequel to Simple Plan. It's just a great song.
Ed, give us your number 4.
You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for my number 4, what did I get for number 4? Oh yeah. Give Me Back My Bullets. So I'm gonna go with Hillary on this one, keeping it low a little bit. I don't know. It really goes. I'm not very familiar with these albums, honestly. I'm more familiar with like the earlier, the other work that they have out.
I did enjoy the music, classic rock, but yeah, I'm gonna put this one on number 4.
Um, yeah, and I'm with you, Ed. I'm not very familiar with most of the songs off of this one. Um, as far as my Leonard Skinner and highlight reel of life, this album didn't really jump in there. Uh, Jason,
I'm
give us your number 4.
See, my printer's messed up, so I gotta use my computer for my notes here. My number 4 is Nothing Fancy. I love Saturday Night Special. I mean, it's an anti-gun song from Lynyrd Skynyrd. I mean, what more could you want? Mr. Saturday Night Special got a barrel that's blue and cold. They ain't not good for nothing but putting men 6 feet in a hole. Cheating Woman's just a sad blues song. It's emo, Ed. I thought you'd like that one.
That's not emo. It wasn't on the list on Wikipedia.
It wasn't on the Wikipedia list.
It wasn't on the official Wikipedia list. I love the Railroad song. It's a hobo song. It's got a great harmonica. On the Hunt, I thought was a single. It turns out it wasn't. I guess I heard my dad play the second side of this record a lot. I don't know. Am I Losing sounds different than Lynyrd Skynyrd, but it works. Like Ronnie's voice is so soft on it, but it's a good mid-tempo song. It's about getting some money, people around you changing because of it. Like I ain't changing. You're the one changing because I'm. If you won the lottery, your people be like, nah. So they were kind of going through that because this is their third album. They were kind of, it's just it's a good record. Oh, I gotta move it over too. See, my notes on the computer screwing me up.
I'm right behind you with my number 4 for Nothing Fancy. Saturday Night Special is amazing. Cheating Woman's good. I'm a Country Boy. I thought that was a good song on there. I even like Made in the Shade. Not as much as other ones, but I thought that was still a good song. It's a good album. To me, it's much better than Give Me Back My Bullets. Whenever I was listening through this, obviously it being their third album, I was like, oh, this is still a good album. All right, we're doing well. And then we'll talk about the rest as we go. Hillary, number 4.
I'm excited because we're all lining up, man. Ain't nothing fancy about nothing special about nothing fancy. So for Am I Losing, my notes are, is this the Allman Brothers? And then ... It's actually okay.
Yeah, it's different. It's different sounding from
it sounds like the Allman Brothers to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's the sound that they had. I think they were trying to share because it was so popular. It's a Southern rock kind of sound. That
so the Allman Brothers were first. Skynyrd came second, but they have their own sound, and they kind of went back to that Allman Brothers sound, or maybe the Allman Brothers morphed into that in changing times.
Yeah.
I don't know. Made in Shade, awesome blues tune. Harmonica, my note is need to listen to it more. Railroad song, that railroad harmonica is just good.
Oh yeah.
And my note is, if they would have just stuck to train travel, maybe they wouldn't have been on that plane.
That's right. Too soon.
I know.
Just a little too soon.
Whiskey Rock and Roller, I got solid tune, good song. But my other 3 I liked better.
Okay. Awesome.
It's not a bad one. None of these are bad albums, really.
I mean, really not.
It's hard to rank albums.
It's really tough to do this.
So, and this is where I kind of thought we would end up with these two at the bottom, the top 3. I can't imagine we're going to be too far off of each other as we go forward.
It's not to say that these are bad albums either. I mean, I like listening to them. There wasn't anything memorable to me like the ones that were coming up, because the ones coming up are so classic with all the big tunes that, at least the most popular ones.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Jason, speaking of that, let's roll right into number 3.
Let me look at my notes here real quick. Okay, yep. My number 2 or 3 is Second Helping. Let's see. Sweet Home Alabama is one of the most complex songs lyrically, I think, in rock history. As far as like meaning, and I don't want to go too deep into it. I'll let somebody else if they want to. But like, I mean, it's over to me. I've heard it so many. I've lived in Alabama for years. I don't really want to hear it anymore, but I do like the Neil Young, how he generalized the South, and Lynyrd Skynyrd fired back, and you know they weren't, they're not from Alabama, but they said, if there's a documentary on Netflix, you got to watch it. Like it's so good, but they kind of explain it. And let's see, when did it say? I always had a great time in Alabama. Said the people were very friendly. It was written right after yeah. That's another thing about the song. It wasn't even. They literally like finished the first album, put it out, and then like they were like, "Well, we got another song," and they recorded it and put it out as a single, and it wasn't even on the album yet. So, this was like one of their biggest songs. Anyway, I'm skipping past all that. I do love the Neil and Ronnie like back and forth. Kind of like the Tupac Biggie rivalry, like taking pot shots. But they were friends. They supported each other. Even Neil Young came back later and said, yeah, he's kind of embarrassed by his lyrics. He shouldn't have generalized the entire South, because not everybody in the South is like that. Case in point. A lot of people miss the whole in Birmingham. They love the governor, boo, boo, boo. They miss the boo, boo, boo part, and Ronnie's come out and said, Wallace and I have very little in common. I don't like what he says about colored people. So, it's just a very misunderstood song. But anyway, moving on past that, I wasn't really a fan of I Need You. Don't Ask Me, and Working for MCA are both great. The Ballad of Curtis Lowe. That I'll let Hillary talk about that one, because I know that's one of his favorites. That's a great song, though.
Okay, cool. I was about to find that slap button.
No, it's one thing. It's one thing Ronnie does a lot. Like he paints a picture, tells a story, and you can visualize it. And this is one of those songs that you can just visualize it. The Needle and the Spoon, though, musically, to me, sounds a lot like Sweet Home Alabama, with the guitar in it.
Yeah, the tone of the guitar sounds a lot like it.
The notes, like just the melody of it sounds a lot. It just reminds me of Sweet Home Alabama. It's an anti-heroin song. It's got some dark lyrics, but the guitar solo is just fire. And their cover of "Call Me the Breeze" just sounds like a Lynyrd Skynyrd song. Like it doesn't sound like a cover.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Oh,
what else?
So good that Hillary left us.
And
Yeah.
in scene.
Oh, here he is. Here we go.
All right.
He's back. Hillary's back.
All right. Who's next?
And
begin scene.
Yeah, and begin. So my number 3 is going to be Street Survivors.
Whoa, weird.
Take.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of thought
I
we
mean,
were
we're
all
all
going to be
close
like this.
here,
Yeah.
but still, like, yeah.
And actually, I just gave it a listen to again today, and I'd already picked these rankings, but I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with what I got here. Obviously, starting off with What's Your Name and That Smell, two greats, two all-time great. Right behind it's One More Time, and I Know a Little. I Know a Little. I remember I grew up around like the Floribama, and my stepfather played music. We went to the singer-songwriter fest all the time, and I listened to a lot of covers, and I didn't realize I Know a Little was a very covered song by them in like the Floribama area at that time of my life. So I heard that song a lot. Honky Tonk Nighttime Man, I like that. Ain't No Good Life is really the only song that I'm not a huge fan of in it. They do have, I think if my memory's correct, there's some like real nice finesse drumming at the end, which is kind of cool. But One thing I did want to say though, at some point in this, they break out the old, they start tickling ivories, and that's how you do it, Everclear. This is how you bring a keyboard or piano into an album. Yes, sir.
You hear that?
Yeah, Art Alexakis. Listen to Lynyrd Skynyrd. But love this album. I think it's great. I think that the top three are pretty much just, S tier.
Oh, easily.
Hillary, tell us your number three.
Pretty much everything you just said, Joe. Street Survivors. Hey, man, I Know a Little is just awesome. Honky Tonk Nighttime, man, I actually discovered listening to this album while preparing for this. And holy guacamole, love that song. Awesome blues tune.
Mm-hmm.
And same with Ain't No Good Life. My notes are, it's all right. Doesn't really flow as the other songs to me. That Smell, though, that's a good song. That was about his brother, if you've seen that documentary. That was about Johnny going through a rough time with, and he ended up in a wreck. Oak tree that in my way, that was his wreck. It's basically him saying, you got to straighten up or you're going to die. The smell is death.
Yep, smell of death's around you.
But yeah, that's my number three.
I love it.
When I first heard that song, we're gonna get to it. But when I first heard that song, I thought that song was about weed. But then I watched the documentary. I was like, oh no, it's not. Yeah.
So
I thought the same one.
Yeah.
Ed, give us your number three.
I'm with Jason on this one. The second helping, I think, is my next one. Sweet Home Alabama. So Jason talked about it eloquently here. I don't know. A lot of it's been overplayed for sure through the years, especially everything deal with Alabama. How much I would take Ray Charles' Georgia over this song, but Georgia will have Ray Charles, I guess, and we're stuck with this. I don't know. This is a weird topic for this tune because a lot of people when I watched the documentary, I don't know how first of all, I don't know how I wasn't there, so I don't know how honest they are about what they meant when they wrote it. I mean, they can come up and say anything they want. I have no idea. All I know is that a lot of people have taken some of the stuff from the song to be used in anti a lot of not pro racism. I won't say that, but like just they've used it for wrong ways, I guess, from the opposite way they wanted it to. Is because it's so open to interpretation.
It's very very open to interpretation.
Yeah, and when a song is open like that, it's hard to say they definitely meant to do this. So I don't know. That's my take on it. It's obviously a jam. I mean, it's popular. Everybody loves it. Every cover band in the South has it somewhere in their playlist. But anyways, good opening tune. The Needle and the Spoon, like Jason said, that song is awesome. It does have a melody that's very, very like Sweet Home Alabama. The tone of the guitars and everything, I think, was one of the things that got me for it too. But yeah, and it only has 8 tracks, and I guess it's because records used to be done that way. Now you have bands that have like 20 songs listed on Apple iTunes.
Quantity.
Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting just to have to listen to 8 songs in an album. Like that was kind of refreshing, really. Like I was like, oh, it's just 8 songs. Wow, that's really nice of them. But yeah, I'm gonna pick this one for my number 3.
So just a side note for people who don't know, I'll post in our Discord server what we're going to record, like the albums we're going to cover for the discography. Because sometimes we put B-sides in there, sometimes we don't. Sometimes, and I wouldn't put the tracks. I would just put, this album, this album, this album. And because these people, they just stream it, and sometimes like Lagwagon, you stream it, instead of the normal 12 tracks, it's got the deluxe edition with like 23 tracks. So that's why now
And we
now in the
don't
disc,
know, and we end up listening to all 23 tracks.
Ed's a little sour about it. So now I put, second helping,
Yes.
8 tracks.
Yes, that's very helpful.
And
Very
actually,
helpful.
their longest one that we did here is "Give Me Back My Bullets" with 9 tracks. Everything else has either 7 or 8.
Yeah, and also a note on this band too. I wasn't surprised because I don't really know again much about the band, but their bass player is Native American. Is that right? I think in a documentary I saw that, but I'm not sure if it was 100% that.
Yeah, I'm the only person who didn't watch the documentary, so I'm not 100% sure on that.
I don't know. They all look like,
I don't recall that.
yeah.
I recall them changing a lot
Let
of
me
players
double-
throughout the whole.
Yeah,
Yeah, I couldn't keep up with all the band
I started
King coming in. And,
reading the Wikipedia, and I was like, nope, I'll never remember all this, so we just skipped it.
Yeah.
Which is why we're only doing the Ronnie Lynyrd Skynyrd, not the
Yeah.
90s and on, because these are the albums that,
Yes.
not to say the others are bad.
We
Well,
probably
they also had
This
they had
is
a lot of
Lynyrd Skynyrd.
guitar changes throughout the the
Yeah,
early-
just these 5, they had a lot of changes.
yeah.
And we probably should have mentioned the, why we're only doing the first 5 at the beginning of the video, but here we are. You now know. Thanks for coming this far. And while we're talking about it, we don't know each other's picks. We say that generally at some point. So, my number 2 is going to be Second Helping. I love that it's called Second Helping, and it's their second album. I think that's fun. I like fun things like that. And Ed and Jason have both kind of talked a lot about the album, but Sweet Home Alabama obviously has pros and cons for some people. I like the song. I'm an Alabama fan, so I like to say "Roll Tide, Roll" in the middle of it. So.
Talking to 2 Auburn boys down there.
Hey, and like I always tell people from Auburn, some people like winners and some people don't. It's okay. It's all
Florida
right.
Gators, let's go.
Don't ask me no questions. Obviously, great. I like working for MCA. The Ballad of Curtis Lowe is an amazing song. I love that song. One of my absolute favorites. The spoiler alert for ahead there, guys. But I like the whole thing. I love the, I got your drinking money, so tune up your dobro. Just the way he says it. There are a lot of songs where he does really interesting things with his voice, like saying different words. And like there was one song, and I can't remember what it was. I was listening to it earlier today, where he talks about something being low, and he makes his voice really low. And I really like some of the things he does with his voice, particularly, especially saying that Lynyrd Skynyrd kind of sounds the same, as far as his voice goes. He doesn't change it up a lot, except he does little things in each song, not each song, but a lot of songs that I really enjoy for his voice.
Like that song on Street Survivors, like he sings it so low and like it barely sounds like him.
So yeah, that's my number 3. Like I said, the 2 of you, I agree with a lot of things you said. I don't want to talk it further, but I definitely want to hit on Curtis Lowe. Don't ask me no questions. And
That's your number 2.
Alabama. That is my number 2. Ed, give us your number 2. Wait, is it Ed or Hillary? No, Hillary.
Go with, Hillary.
Sorry, Hillary, give us your number 2.
I'm looking at the lineup. It looks like you and I are the same, Joe.
All right.
Come on, Ed. We got this.
Going second helping. So, like you were talking earlier about Tuesday's Gone, remembering when you were a kid listening to that in the Pontiac?
Uh-huh.
I remember listening to that, and I don't know what pickup or car or whatever it was, but I remember listening to the Ballad of Curtis Lowe on the radio over and over again. And, Sweet Home Alabama, turn it up.
Turn it up.
The Needle and the Spoon's a nice jam. Just stay away from the needle. And Call Me the Breeze. Classic. Badass song.
Jason, can we get a PSA for the children of the stay away from the needle there with Hillary? Can we clip that part? There's your PSA.
Yes, only the TikTok.
Stay away from the needle. That's what my guitar teacher told me.
That's right. PSA for the kids.
Neil Young had a song called "The Needle and the Damage Done."
I will say though, Tuesday's Gone with the Wind. That song is probably one of. We're gonna get to top songs, but that is seriously one of their best songs. It's got everything.
That album ain't even on the board yet.
Yeah.
What you talking about?
Yeah. Now, Ed, give me your number 2.
If you put it on the board now, I'm gonna reach for that slap button.
That's right. Where's the slap button?
I'm gonna go with Street Survivors for this one. I think it's a good album. Honky Tonk Night that reminded me of Hillary. That was the name did, and I was like, oh, Honky Tonk, and I listened to it, and I was like, that's awesome.
Oh, Hillary, you gotta show off that sign. Can you show off that sign, or is it gonna mess you up?
What sign?
My garage.
Oh yeah, sure. It's a honky tonk garage.
Nice.
Sorry, Ed.
No, you're good. That was worth it. You kidding me? Yeah, What's Your Name's a good opener. That Smell, Joe already talked about that. And I did think about that song was about weed for the longest time. It just made sense to me, I guess. I don't know. You Got That Right was a good tune. I like that one. And again, I really enjoy these 8-track albums, man. We got to start covering more Southern rock bands because this is pretty great.
Yes, sir.
The 70s bands, man.
Yeah, dude, they don't fuck around. And one thing, though, this album, I didn't put on my notes, the guitar on this album is pretty solid. Like, if you want to learn how to play guitar, listen to this one and the one and learn those solos and those keys and those notes. You'll learn it. They're really good at their craft, which is really strange because, like, at least from a documentary and reading up on them, they didn't seem like they come from like a trained background, you know. Like they at least
came out the swamp, man. They learned that shit.
Yeah, dude. Like it is the strangest thing, but they came out with some really cool riffs, man. Like it's like, and they always made something of themselves, but like it's really cool to see like these guys that came from, you know, nothing to.
If I remember correctly, they had like a lull before this album, and they got a new guitarist, and he kind of brought them back.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I don't know. It's the guitar in this album is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I'm gonna follow right behind Ed on that one. This is, of course, I don't have the Flames copy, but this album is tragic because how far they had advanced, like Ed was saying, it would have been really good to hear what they would have done after this. What's Your Name is great. That Smell, Jesus Christ, this song, my parents, if there was any kind of smell in our house when we were growing up, it was, ooh, that smell around you. And it's like, now that I know what it's about, it's like, man, that's kind of dark, Mom. Like, but it's such a fun chorus to sing. And the female backing vocals, if you listen to this song with headphones and the female backups they have, they're phenomenal in this song.
And I think they get that from soul music, man. Like to bring in like those kind of singers in the background. Because I mean the southern boys, man, they grow up around that stuff too. You know, the soul, the church music, and all of that. And I think they were really clever at mixing all of that together. But I mean, now we say but back then it was very like unique. You know, people didn't do that, and they were like, "Oh, cool, that's a new sound." So
yeah.
And I don't know what album they started doing that on, but that was something I meant to note because I was like, "Oh, this is the first time I've heard them with a backup like soulful singer in the back," and that's really cool. And they carried it through most of those albums after that.
Screw the 90s swing revival band crap that went on, dude. All you need is I Know a Little. That's all you need for some swinging good times. The song is so good. You got that Right is decent. I Never Dreamed. I thought the intro was a little long, but once it gets going, that's some good shit. Honky Tonk Nighttime Man. That just reminds me of the Railroad song, kinda. I love that part. You know, I'm a honky tonk night man. Can't stand no light, and the music stalls out almost, kind of like it's repeating. You're stuck. Oh, I said that all wrong. If you listen to it, the music kind of stalls out and gets stuck, and then it keeps going, kind of like Green Day's Church on Sunday kind of does it. Like, I love that shit. It's odd, but it's brilliant, and it's got great soul as usual. It's just a super fun song. Like this album is one of their best.
Yeah, and also on that note, when Skynyrd wanted to do rock and roll, they can do rock and roll. When they wanted to do rock, they can do rock. Like they can do those two avenues, and they're not the same avenue.
If they want to do blues, they can do blues.
They can do blues. Those are those are the avenues they were really, really good at, though. You know, and they knew it. That's why they stuck to it.
Yeah, and there's such a strong blues influence even in their rock, just like any rock. But like you can see that Southern rock. That's awesome.
They can do swing too. I'm telling you.
They can do I Know a Little.
That's right. Ed, give us your number one.
Hold on, I'm just gonna drop this all the way down.
Yeah, I know it's pronounced. Yeah,
I'm just gonna drop it all the way down.
Yeah, it's, I mean, man. Okay, first of all, yeah. Since we're here, Tuesday is gone. That song is their best, one of their best for sure. Like in my opinion, Simple Man. I was hating on it earlier. I just like the cover by Shinedown. I'm sorry, it's great. It's phenomenal. It sounds fantastic. And if you do not appreciate the singing style of the singer from Shinedown, you got issues because
whenever you say the words "I like" and "shine down" in the same sentence, it just my brain.
It's not that we don't appreciate the singer of Shinedown, but you're putting him up against fucking Ronnie, dude. Like, there's no comparison.
No, his acoustic version of that song, dude, blows the original out of the water. I'm sorry, it does. But it is.
Leave a comment down below. Put all your hate comments down below. His name is Ed.
Okay.
You're only an hour and a half away. I'll slap you tonight.
Get on that golf cart. Get on that golf cart and go, Hillary.
I'll kiss your bald head. But you got Ain't the Ones. And this is also their debut album too. So it was a great way of opening those doors, man. Like, I mean, this is just the full Mississippi Kid. And the reason why I hate Joe, one of the reasons I hate Joe is on this album, is that damn song that drunk people, hey man, play Freebird. Like, I mean, like, it's, guys, just stop it, okay? You don't want to hear it. You're just saying to be obnoxious, and you're just gonna annoy the singer.
If I was in a punk band and somebody yelled that shit at me, we would play it, and we'd play it in its entirety, and those people would get pissed off because it's way too long for the punk community.
When you go to Nashville, you go down Broadway where all the guys are covering music in the bars. They usually have a sign. It says Freebird $100, Wagon Wheel $150, and people pay that. Like, people pay them. It's crazy. Like, they give them $100 to play Freebird. It's insane.
How much they give them for Santa Monica?
They don't have a sign for that.
No.
But
why?
Anyways.
Look, ladies and gentlemen of our YouTube community, I will also sing Wagon Wheel for $150.
It's crazy. I've seen people give them the $100 like to play the song. I'm like, you can go to your truck and like play it on the CD or something. You don't have to pay
and a better version.
By the way, I mean, like, if you have the money and you want to support your musician, that's great. But I'm like, that's crazy that people would actually pay that. Anyways, yes.
Jason, give us your rundown of your number one.
I mean, this is the quintessential Southern rock record. If you know anything about anything like this is a greatest hits record. I mean, there's not a bad song on it. Tuesday's Gone, Give Me 3 Steps, Simple Man, Freebird. Like even the ones that weren't hits are near perfect. I Ain't the One, Poison Whiskey, dude. The whole album. He drank old poison whiskey till it killed him dead. I mean, what can you say about this album that hasn't been said? Honestly,
Hillary, give it a try. Or no, it's my turn. You're gonna go last. So I'm with Jason. I thought this was. I didn't realize all these songs were wrong pronounced. I didn't realize it was a greatest hits album until I
it's
started
their
listening to it.
first album.
And it's their first one.
Who does that?
The thing I have for I Ain't the One is a good song, but I haven't heard the word jive in so long. And he says it in there, and I was like, really? Jive, huh?
Hashtag bring jive back.
That's right. Tuesday's Gone. I just love that opening. Like I said, it reminds me of childhood. The train roll on. I just love how his voice kicking in there.
Whoa. It reminds you of childhood?
Yeah.
No, dude.
What do you
Dazed
mean,
and Confused. That scene when the keg's over and
We grew up listening to this.
Yeah,
we didn't get.
Did you not listen to my beginning when how I learned about them? I was in the back of a
I don't
Pontiac.
listen to you.
Pontiac.
Okay.
Listen to Tuesday's Gone, and it brings me back
I'm
to childhood.
joking. I do remember that. No, I do
You
remember
do
that.
not. Get out. That man was in the dark looking around whenever I was talking.
I was having technical difficulties, but yeah, go ahead.
Give Me 3 Steps.
This motherfucker is like scratched to hell and back. Like, dude, this is like lived on my dad's player.
Give Me 3 Steps, just a fun song. I think it's a hoot. Simple Man, amazing. Things Going On. I'm like, it's a good song, but everything kind of overshadows it. Mississippi Kid, amazing. I never heard Poison Whiskey until I listened to this. Them talking about Johnny Walker Red or 20 years of right good whiskey done killed this poor man dead. Good stuff. Freebird is obviously a guitar masterclass toward the end, and just a great song overall.
Yeah, I mean, this album is it's phenomenal. As far as, like I said, it is the Southern rock album.
Mm-hmm. Hillary, give us your rundown of number one.
So exactly the same. So for that to be their first album, I mean, that's why they are who they are. That's what created them, right? I mean, that's what made them big. And everything else just kind of followed. I mean, yeah, man, it's what I got, man. It's the first vinyl I got.
There you go.
And then I went 5 years without something to play it with, but yeah.
When they play that, now you can turn it up.
Hillary's been sharing his
That's the second
vinyl.
album.
Yeah. Hillary's been sharing his
And,
vinyl collection in our Discord. If y'all are interested in his journey.
Yes, it's been fun watching them.
And also, can I make a side note here and appreciate how Freebird is 9 minutes and 13 seconds long?
So this is my take on Freebird is classic. Good song, awesome build up, badass solo, too damn long.
I don't know. Because we talked about it in Led Zeppelin.
It's a weird song because it's a weird song because it's long, but it doesn't feel long when you're listening to it. Sometimes.
It doesn't. Like
it doesn't
Stairway to Heaven
like
feels
9
long to me.
Yes.
Freebird, I can listen to Freebird. It doesn't bother me as much.
Because that solo is so badass, dude.
Those triple guitars.
It's one of the best solo I've ever heard. Yeah, it's just.
It's not a bad song. It's classic.
Yeah.
But, it's really
long.
It's,
when you're listening to it to try to rank it, it's very long.
Yeah, and I'm kind of with y'all. I don't believe it's too long. And when I'm listening to it, when I talk about it being 9 minutes, I'm like, damn, that's a long ass song.
I'd skip Sweet Home over Freebird just because I've heard it so much.
What was that track that Tom Petty did with with Johnny Depp in the video?
With Johnny Depp.
Into the Great
Johnny
Wide
Depp
Open. Where you talking about the music video?
It's
frozen.
He looks like he's got a really good point though.
Right.
Into the Great Wide Open.
Yeah.
This
song is
Anyway,
9 minutes long.
until
Anyways,
he finished high school.
I didn't know Johnny Depp and Tom Petty had a song together, music video together?
Yeah, Into the Great Wide
Yeah.
Open.
Did
Into
they
the
sing
Great Wide
together, or is
Open.
it just Johnny Depp's in the video?
No,
Johnny Depp
he plays
acted.
Eddie.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was like, that's weird. I will look at it because it's weird that Johnny Depp sings with Tom
Oh,
Petty.
go watch
but
that video. Dude, that album. Wait till we get to Tom Petty.
It's coming.
Wait till we get to Tom Petty.
It's coming.
I don't think that's gonna be a 3-parter, guys. We are not. Gonna
16 albums, Hillary. You want to join us for Tom Petty?
I might. I do want to listen to some more Tom Petty, but nah.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Not religiously over the course of a weekend.
I'm not overly excited about 16 albums. I am excited about listening to Tom Petty, but
how do you rank that? You got to have a system.
I got my top
We're
5.
divided.
I've got a system, but I just got to put it back in place.
We got Green Day. They got what 13
Oh,
albums?
Green. We're throwing down on Green Day. Trust me.
Oh, we fight.
Trust me.
Yeah, I already know. Trace, baby, Trace. I've never even listened to that album, so
Father of all motherfuckers, number 1, bitch.
okay, so let's get our wrapping up thoughts here. Hillary, as a guest, wrap us up. Tell me, give me your closing thoughts on Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Well, my closing thoughts are: if I hear him on the radio, I'm dancing. That's what I do.
I love it.
Grew up with him, and I love him. But maybe not. Maybe not give me back my bullets.
Yeah, it's the worst of good albums.
Maybe that's why that's the only one my dad didn't have.
That's right.
Did you guys peak at the other albums?
No, not a bit.
I did not.
No.
Not this round. No.
I started listening to
There
Weezer.
was the one that they put out in the 1991 had some pretty good songs on there. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I mean, not Skynyrd, but they had some good tunes on there.
Check
one's
this
that
one
one?
out, dude. This is their live album. One More from the Road. But my dad played this probably more than the rest of them. This is a good live album.
What was the 1991 one? You know it?
I think it was just called.
It was the one.
Self-titled?
Yeah, it was Lynyrd Skynyrd 1991,
Yeah.
and it's the one that they with his brother. The first one they put out with his brother, I think.
Okay.
It has some pretty good songs on there. Like it's not, I was curious. I was like,
current Skynyrd. Well, I don't know about current now but through the years they still sounded good. Like, I mean, they kept the legacy going.
The guitar, dude. Those guitars, I don't know how they must have like a training facility or something because like they sound fantastic. Like seriously, like even if you don't like the singing of the brother, the guitars in this album sound good.
The brother does a good job, I think.
Yeah, I think so. It's fine. A lot of people.
God, I wish I had a wig and we did a skit with Ed with like the Lynyrd Skynyrd training facility, like orientation day. That'd be amazing.
Oh well. No, I can't. No time for editing. I can't do that. Y'all done screw me up on TikTok. Now I'm making TikTok videos.
That's
They're
right.
fun.
Ed, give us your closing thoughts.
Yeah, Skynyrd. It was definitely growing up. I didn't grow up listening to this band. I didn't catch on to later. But they do have some super memorable tunes. No, we do not. Or even when I was in middle school, super memorable tunes. I heard them at college parties. I heard them even now on the radio, and still jamming out to Freebird. I just don't want to hear people request that song anymore.
Come on, man. Just one time. Play Freebird.
Shut up, Joe. It's all your fault.
Jason, give us your closing thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, if you want good blues, good soul, good southern rock, you can't go wrong with Lynyrd Skynyrd. I mean, they're the kings of it to me. There's a lot of other good ones out there, but you get the self-titled pronounced, it's the greatest hits. Like, you put it on and it just flies by. Even Freebird, it's a great album.
So
all of them are great to me.
My recommendation is get pronounced and drive around in a Pontiac Thunderbird Firebird at night. There's your recommendation.
I mean, even Street Survivors, it's got some really good deep cuts on it. You'll see in the next video, top songs.
That's right. Street Survivors are great. The link
And
is
if you
somewhere
want to
down.
listen to that cover of Shinedown, I'm just saying, give it a shot.
How many albums Shinedown
telling
got?
you.
We'll do them.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, you would like
don't
it.
know, he
It's the
don't know.
acoustic version of Simple Man.
This fool got us doing Linkin Park and all kind Incubus and all kinds of bullshit.
Hey man, Brandon from Incubus is a great singer. The whole band is great.
I
They're
like
very talented. You
Incubus.
used to listen to Incubus. What are you talking about?
Two
I
of
never
their
listened
listened,
with
I never
Julius.
listened to Incubus.
two of their albums
was
are
it you or
great.
Julius?
Had to be Julius.
That was Julius.
That
Okay,
sounds
one of you
like
two.
a Julius fan. Anyway, Hillary, thank you so much for joining us on Rant and Rank, and thank you all for watching Rant and Rank. We know that you love us because we're your favorite YouTubers, and now Hillary can call himself your favorite YouTuber because he joined us here. We want to thank everyone so much, especially you, Guy Fieri, because we know someone added you a few videos back about a month ago or so, and we know you've been watching since then, so we really appreciate it. If you want to name something in your restaurants after us, we're all for it. Please like, share, subscribe, and go ahead and at Kevin Smith while we're doing these whole celebrity ads. He's on social media all the time. See if he wants to be a guest or just wants some good old-fashioned entertainment. You know, something that really tickles the ear hole, as he would say. I mean, he seems like he would enjoy our brand of humor, right?
Yeah. Hey, and also Stephen King, I want that retweet.
The king.
You owe me.
This is you. I got your face on me. Until we see you next time.
I honestly did not know what that was for a second. It freaked me out.
And shout out to my brewers if you're watching. We appreciate you. Until then, stay safe. Make good decisions.